Today we will learn the most useful, in my opinion, approach in scripting to do a backtest. A backtest is when you have a certain theory how to invest, certain approach, based on certain parameters, and you make a decision to invest. And you want to test it on the past. So how you do that is you kind of go back in time and behave with this approach you had in mind. Like, for example, you make a decision that you want to make an investment if your stock price is above running average stock price by 30%, and at that moment you want to buy. So, for example, that's your approach. So then what you would do, you would go 10 years back and you kind of move day by day through these 10 years, and when this condition happens you make an investment. And then, because it all happened in the past, you compare what happens to your investment in 2-3 years in future, which is still past, obviously, because you started 10 years ago. And if your investment performs well, then your approach might be a good approach for the future, and you can use it for actual current investment, if that makes sense. Or you Google backtesting in stock investment, you will learn more about that. But scripting does allow that, and that's what we'll do today. So, for example, if you look at Microsoft and go to charts, we can, let's remove that. Let's add Microsoft stock price. So this is just stock price chart. And let's also add average for 400 days stock price. So this is running average of stock price. So as you can see, if you just scale a little bit, you can see this blue line is your running 400-day average, and this is the actual everyday stock prices. And you can see sometimes they almost not different, but sometimes they're very different. And let's say our approach will be if the stock price is below running average. So there are very few moments when this happened, like right here it happened, and right here, and right here. So there were at least 3 moments when the stock price was below running average, and at the same time the revenue is above running average by some degree. So let's test that is a good time to invest. So our investments would be, if we didn't consider the second point about revenue, but just stock price, our investment decision would be probably here, here, and here. And if we like invested here, then check what happens 2 days after. So like if this is 2020, then roughly somewhere here test if our stock investment was a success or not, right? So that's the test we will run today. So let's go to our coding. We'll do 2 loops. In the first loop we'll go through every company, and we will go through all 10 years of time, and we'll identify moments when it's a good time to invest, and we'll record this investment in an array. And the second loop will be our testing loop, where we'll actually test how it performed, right? So let's do the first loop first. Okay, so go with for day equals 0, get today day, and let's do that every day. Actually, every day would be maybe not a good idea because it will be too many. Let's do like every 5 days. We'll test things out. So for every day over all the time frame, which is roughly 10 years currently in the system, we'll do a second for loop for each ticker, right? So we need to get the actual ticker number. Okay, so I have for loop within a for loop. So for every day, and this is for every ticker. Okay, and we'll get the ticker, of course. Okay, save. Let's see first of all how slow that is. Let's just run, because it's pretty intense. There are a lot of days and there are a lot of tickers. Let's see if it's not too slow. No, we don't want to wait for too long. Okay, it took roughly 2 seconds, which is actually even less. It's actually incredibly fast. Okay, and now we also need to declare an array. Let's call it investments, where we'll store our investments. And now in every day for every ticker we'll check the condition. We'll get our revenue and our running average, 400-day average revenue. Okay, this is our revenue. And we will also get our average 400-day average revenue. Okay, and we'll do also same for stock price. So get price, get stock, get price. Okay, ticker day. Okay, price open. We can just skip it. It will also get the just default price per day, and then price average. Use get XBRL, and I think it was called. Let me just check. Average 400 stock price. Oh, we can just use that. Okay. 400 stock price. We actually can use this as well. We just need to use XBRL command. Alright, so that should give us everything we need. Let me just increase days even more, because I actually want to print it out, just to see if everything is good. You need to understand big numbers, so remember that 10 years has a lot of days. It's like thousands of days, and number of tickers is like 10,000. So this for loop within for loop will run, I'm quite sure, many million times cycles. So if you don't be careful here, you will get stuck waiting until everything printed out and so on. So revenue average, even with increment by 500 days, it still will run a lot of calls. Price and price average. I just want to see if numbers look good, because we don't want to base our investments on wrong numbers. Okay. I do see a lot of numbers printed. We often get zeros, which is probably companies that are younger companies that don't go, because we start from 10 years back. But on average, let's see, the only concern I have is for the last number. I see a lot of the last number being 0. And I'm not sure if that, let's do it for just one company, because I'm not sure if I'm seeing good numbers. Let's do just one company for now, Microsoft. Okay, so revenue grows, this is earning average. Revenue grows and it looks good to me. The stock price, yeah, what is Microsoft stock price today? 245, and this is 300. It's before the plunge, I guess. Okay, and because my steps is like bigger than a year, that's totally fine. Okay, so the only problem I see is the last number, which is price average. So average 400 stock price, something it didn't work for this one. Average 400 stock price. I thought it's exactly what I'm using. Oh. I forgot one more of this. Okay, now it should be good. Here we go. So now we have good numbers. I'm quite confident about these numbers. We'll comment it out. We'll re-enable the big loop for all the tickers. And now we'll just write our condition for investment. And we'll just write an if statement. If our current revenue, of course this will also run like every 5 days. So this is gonna run a lot. So if our revenue is above revenue average, 400-day average, so that's pretty cool condition, right? And most importantly, price average is bigger than our current price, so price is below average, but our revenue is above average, so it's kind of I think it's a favorable thing, right? And also put some margin to this. So and price average. We also need to check, of course, that everything is non-zero. Price is above 0, and revenue is above 0. Also, let's start we need some back time, right? 365 days. So let's start at least 400 days from, we'll say 500 days from the beginning of time, which is like 10 years ago. So price above 0, revenue is above 0, and revenue is above revenue average, and price average is above price, and the margin is price average divided by price. So price average is bigger than price, so it should be the other way around, right? Let's also put here this also more than 0, and we'll actually do the other way around. Price divided by price average. So price is less than price average, so price divided by price average multiplied by 100 to get our percentages, and this essentially wait, that's still wrong, right? Price minus price average. Probably need to put it separately, but I'm just gonna keep it within the if. So price average is more than price, so yeah, darn it, price average minus price and divided by price average, which is a bigger one, multiplied by 100. That gives us the actual percentage margin, essentially how much bigger in percent. And I want this to be significant because others will trigger this too much, like 30%. If you have 30% above our price average, I mean below price average, so we're seriously below our running average price, right? But our revenue is somehow bigger than average, then it seems like this stock might be a good investment. So then let's invest. And here we'll do, oh, we don't need begin, sorry. And here we'll do the investment. So we have this array here, right? So let's do investment here. Investments equal, and we'll do we'll call it investment, and it's also a table. So we'll deal with tables within a table. So investment, and first we'll to investments we'll add this investment. So that means sorry, and we'll do one investment. Let's do one investment per one ticker. We'll not do two investments per, or three or more investments for one ticker. So just to make it simple. So investment ticker equal investment. I wanted to put here into the investment the information about like what stock and so on, but I think it's unnecessary. Well, let's keep things as simple as possible for the demo purposes. And instead we'll just put here, for this ticker we'll put the date when we did the investment, so the day. That should give us enough information to evaluate later if investment was good or not. Let's also print information about the investment ticker day. And actually let's print not just day, but the human readable date when the investment happened, right? And investment will be just like one stock. It doesn't really matter, sorry, not feedback, but help. I don't need this. So we should be able to table length, get day as string. Yeah, get day as string, that's the function we need to print human readable date. And we'll put get the day. So we'll print at what date we invested into this stock, right? Okay, let's put increment 50 because I'm still paranoid to not overload everything. There might be a lot of investments. Oh, there is an error. Line 13. Of course, I used too many of this, right? I think this was okay. So that's this one, and then that one, more than 30. I think that should be good. No, still not good. Line 13, expected, yeah. Why did I make a mistake here? That should be good, hopefully. Still not good. Okay, when I get stuck like this, what I do is I comment out the suspicious part just to first check if everything is good. You know what, I can just put it in, like originally I want, you see, I originally wanted to put it in a separate variable and probably should have done it. No. Okay, and the only thing we need to protect this division, we cannot divide by 0, so not to break the system, we need another if here. Okay, and margin more than 30. So here we don't need this. See, things get simpler. Okay, now I don't think you can possibly make a mistake with brackets, hopefully. Okay, run. Oh, here we go. I'll just wait until it crunches the numbers. Okay, so it finished. It did a lot of investments, as we can see. A huge number of investments. Let's reduce this to 30 days, so we'll reevaluate every 30, maybe even 20 days for every stock. We will, margin will be 30 for that. Let's also calculate revenue margin. That's what I want to do as well. Need to protect that. So, and revenue more than revenue average. So that means revenue we need to check, and revenue bit above 0, and margin revenue so margin revenue will put a condition of 20% to be a little bit more strict. So now what we have seen here is that we want margin for price above running average stock price to be above 30%, but revenue to be 20% as well. So we are quite strict with investment now. We'll not print it anymore. Save. What we'll do, we'll run a second loop, that the loop which will become our testing, back testing loop, right? So back test evaluation loop, and in this loop we will iterate through all the investments. Key value in pairs investments, and we'll print them out first. We'll essentially do this same println but here. Key and value. We need to print key and value from the array. So let's see what happens. There's an error. Do expect? Oh, I forgot the do. Yeah. Okay, it's finished, and we got some keys and values. So in this case, this is a number of the day number, obviously. I forgot to convert day number to actual date, readable date. But let's also evaluate how many total investment. I don't want it to be a crazy number. So about 4,000 over 10 years period across all stocks. I think that's fair enough. So yeah, we think ready for the final evaluation. So what we need to do now is we also should not run this till today's day. We need to subtract at least 2 years, because we want to evaluate into the future, and for that we need 2 years into the future. So save, and what we'll do here is we'll get the stock price at the moment of investment. Get stock that price at the moment of investment, which is V in this case, and we need the ticker, which is the key, and that's it. The last parameter is just empty string. Okay. Okay, price set at investment, and then we'll get also price after 2 years. Okay. Then we need to evaluate by how much in percentages it performed, essentially. So what we need to do is subtract the difference. So difference we also calculate the percentage. Now, of course, we need to make sure that both of these are above 0. To avoid division by 0. So difference divided by, so we assume this is a bigger number, and multiplied by 100. Yield, so we can print it. For each ticker we'll print that, but we also do calculate the statistics, so that means we'll sum up total yield. So we'll add total investments by 1. So to calculate totals, we'll also add yields. Okay, and we will calculate average. Which will be total yield divided by total invested. All right, and that's essentially the performance of our strategy. That's the answer we are looking for, right? Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's just run it now. Okay, it finished running. Let's see the results. I don't see a single positive number, which is a little bit worrisome. Okay, there were some positives. What is the average? Okay, something is not right. Oh, okay, I see what I just did. I printed it on every investment. After every investment I printed this, but I kinda, so we can kinda see how average came to this number. Okay, that's actually not too bad. The last number will be the most precise number, and let's look at one more time. So everything started pretty well, right? The pretty good performance there. Then another good performance on OPRX investment. Then there was a pretty bad one, which immediately made our average drop, and so on and so on. And we can see that it never came out positive. So it looks like this strategy of investment is not a good strategy. That's what we learned today. It's unfortunate, but it was worth trying. Now you can try your own strategies. You can kind of take inspiration from this script, which will be published, and you can play with it yourself, copy it to your scripts and play with your own conditions and so on. And that's gonna be interesting to experiment and learn things about it. Thank you.